The reason I was drawn to this project after End of Watch was, I was really looking for a story. I'd sort of told my own story, and this opportunity emerged from the mists of Hollywood, as they do sometimes. Arnold was attached to this script, and it's this very interesting mystery, thriller, action hybrid, which you don't normally see very often.
The basic story of our movie is there's a group of really elite DEA agents led by Mr. Schwarzenegger, and started the movie, they steal a bunch of money from a cartel, which I imagine must be always sort of like something in the back of your mind, like I could just take it. I could take all the money, all the drugs, I could take it all. Anyway, they steal a bunch of money and then are under investigation, and nobody knows if they actually still have the money, did they actually get away with the money, and one by one, each member of this team starts to get killed.
A lot of times they write the character just the way I naturally look, but David Ayer wanted to create a different look, and he wanted the acting also to be a little different, and he wanted to get deeper into the character and not just to make it an action movie. So it was very important for him to create a certain character that people have never seen before. I did everything that he asked me to do because I'm totally committed to this movie, and I wanted to spend as much time on the movie, to prepare for the movie, to rehearse for the movie for months and months and months. We rehearsed and we trained and everything, and it all paid off in the end.
I love action movies, and there's lots of great action shoot 'em up movies. What's different about this is that David is actually a character director. Like, he's interested in telling the story about really complicated human beings who just happen to have these skills and work in a world where being that tough is required, but that's not the point.
You've always got perceptions of Arnold because you grow up watching his films, and as I said, the iconic status that he's got precedes him. So, but I think in this, David's brought out he did one scene and I looked at it and I saw like what Clint Eastwood can do, that grizzled thing. And what Arnold, not only he's good in his action stuff, but he's got this, he's getting old now and he's got this grizzled quality, but amongst that he's also got a nurturing quality, and I think that's what David is really exploring. Dave's style is very free-flowing, and he's got a great idea of where he wants the scene to go, obviously, and it's very dynamic in the extremes of how he wants the scene to be played from one end of the spectrum to the other. But overall, I think the opportunity is to try and surprise him and start delivering something out. Trust all your research, trust all your training, and trust the character that you've created, and try to deliver something that makes him surprised, and then you both go on this weird journey, and before you know it, you don't know what the camera's picked up, and that's great.
How do you be a good cop under a corrupt system and not try and take something for yourself? And if you do try and take something for yourself, at what point do you stop making the compromises? This movie is about human compromises. Yeah. When does the good guy become bad, and has he always been bad? Who said we can kill?
We trained for a few months, and then even when we began shooting, we were still training. There was hand-to-hand fighting, some MMA, basically, stand-up and ground fighting, MMA stuff, just to, because there is fighting in the script, but there's also, I think it was to just have that warrior spirit. These guys are hunters, these guys are killers, and so I think it was to get into that mind frame, and then from there, we'd hit the gun range with live ammo with members of the Sheriff's Department and SWAT team officers, and some guys that were former military, and we'd go out and shoot live rounds. And then we trained with pretty much the best of the best as far as task forces go.
I'm gonna destroy them.
Já disponível no MEO VideoClube.